Crypto is taking over the world and it is here to stay. Right now is the perfect time for you to learn the skills of the future and generate profits. Welcome to the Crypto DeFi NFT campus, where I, Professor Sillard, will teach you the most cutting-edge and advanced crypto skills. Regardless of whether it's a bull or a bear market, there are always insane opportunities and money to be made in crypto. You will learn about buying the newest altcoins on decentralized exchanges so you can front-run most investors. I will educate you on capitalizing on liquidity farming so you can make passive income on your capital. You will gain insights into identifying narratives and trends so you can buy the coins before their price go up. I will teach you about participating in NFT mints so you can get your hands on the latest releases. You will master the art of farming airdrops so you can make money easily through discipline and consistency. Join the campus and learn all the essential on-chain skills that can pave your way to financial success. Yo guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you around the DeFi campus. In the left sidebar, you can see all the categories and channels. When you join, you will only see a few of them. As you proceed with the courses and lessons, more and more channels will unlock. If you want to see the full list, then go to the Start Here channel where all of them are listed. You can also find the courses structure here, so you will know which course you have to take in which order. If you click on the courses button in the top left corner, then that brings up the Learning Center. Here you can find all the important information. You should start with the Start Here and then you should proceed with the lessons. If you click on this, you will see there are many lessons in here and you will start with the decentralized course. In the main area, of course, that's the channel area. So when you open another channel, it will bring that up for you. And again, you will see more and more channels as you proceed with the lessons. In the right sidebar, you can find the list of professors and captains, and there is also a search bar. So if you get lost, you know what to do to find it. So this is basically it. Welcome to the campus. Yo guys, in this video we are gonna talk about wallets. First of all, we have to talk about addresses a bit and accounts to understand how to use the wallets. So as you know by now, on Ethereum there are two types of accounts, and we will focus on the externally owned accounts, EOA, here. So you can control these with private keys, and wallets basically are just an interface for you to interact with an externally owned account. The account will have a private key and several public keys, and the public keys will be the addresses. So I will just show you quickly MetaMask. You can see this is one big account that you can use with private key, and then within this there are many sub accounts or addresses, as I like to call them, and those are different Ethereum addresses, but you control all of these with one private key. So when you open a wallet instance, then you will have a private key and you control all these addresses with that one private key. I'm gonna show you what an address looks like. So this is someone, I don't know, I just pulled it up, and this is a block explorer where you can check the holdings and the tokens on that particular address, right? Because it's very important to understand that you don't have crypto in your wallet. All of it is on the blockchain under addresses like this one that you can see here, and you can control the address with the private key through the wallet, right? So the wallet is an interface to interact with addresses, to interact, let's say, with your tokens on the blockchain. So these assets, these coins, belong to this address, and anyone who can control this address can access the money. So if you lose your private key, give out your private key, then other people will be able to access your holdings as well. Now we are focusing on Ethereum chain, but other chains work very similarly, especially EVM compatible chains. And if you go to DBank, you can check those easily as well, the other chains. So for instance, this guy has a shit ton of money on Ethereum, but some money on Optimism, which is a different chain, right? It's another blockchain, even though you can see it here because it's also EVM compatible. So the address is actually the same. Doesn't matter if you're on Ethereum or Optimism, you can have the same address because both of them are EVM compatible blockchains. Now we will go through the type of wallets. First of all, there is hot versus cold wallets, and the hot wallets are the software wallets basically. This can be a phone app, an online provider, software program, but you will use basically all the time gonna be browser extension like this MetaMask here, and I'm using Chrome right now. So this is how you will access your wallet. And the other type of wallet is cold wallet, which is basically portable devices that provide the capability to carry kind of your crypto money, but here the idea is to give you an extra level of safety, but these things are hardware, right? So I'm gonna show you, this is the MetaMask website. Again, it shows the software wallet, and then there are the cold wallets or hardware wallets that are actually devices. And also there's another differentiation between wallets, two big groups, which are called custodial and non-custodial wallets. So when you use centralized exchanges such as Binance and Coinbase, they have your private key that we talked about before. Since they have your private key, they can freeze your crypto, you could say, right? Because the owner of the assets, who own the assets? Again, the guy who holds the private key. If you have your own private key, like with a MetaMask account, that's a non-custodial wallet because you have full control over your money, because you can enter this interface with your private key. But when you log into Coinbase, for instance, which is a centralized exchange, you just register through an email, you will verify your identity, but they never give you the private key. And the addresses are actually hidden in here. If you look around, like you can check your assets, whatever, no address is involved, except when you wanna receive crypto on centralized exchanges. Then if you click on receive, it will reveal your address that you have to send your money to. But again, you don't control that address because the private key is owned by the centralized exchanges. So that's why we recommend you guys to only keep a small amount on centralized exchanges, and I will show you for what else you have to use centralized exchanges later on. So recommended wallets. For software wallets, we recommend MetaMask. This is again hot wallet because it's a software wallet, and it's non-custodial because you have your private key. And also, if you have some more money, like a few $1,000s at least in crypto already, then it's highly recommended to get a ledger because it will give you an extra level of safety. And let's just talk about few different chains. Again, we use MetaMask for EVM compatible chains like Ethereum, Arbitrum, Phantom, but there are other wallets that you have to use. For For instance, with Solana, we recommend the Phantom wallet, right? I'm not logged in here, but what you have to see is this is just a different browser extension because you have to use a different wallet for totally different blockchains from time to time, right? Solana is not EVM compatible. Most of the chains that you will use are EVM compatible, and you can just use MetaMask wallet. And again, it's very important for you to understand that if you have money in crypto, then you should keep it in a non-custodial wallet, in which case you hold your own private keys, so it's your money. We have the saying that not your key, not your crypto. For many people, what already happened, they lost their money because they didn't have their private keys, and their funds, which could be millions of dollars, got frozen by centralized entities such as FTX, which was an exchange that went bankrupt. Or the people who had money on FTX lost their money. So a few rules before we dive into different wallets and we start installing wallets. You have to protect your seed phrase, which is your private key. If someone gets access to your private key, then your money is gone. Very important, you should only ever type the private key or the seed phrase into the wallet interface, either MetaMask, Ledger, or other type of cold wallets like Trezor. We recommend, again, Ledger Nano S Plus currently, or Trezor. As your crypto portfolio grows, you should have several MetaMask accounts, for instance. You could have several Ledger wallets, right? If you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, let's say, then it makes sense to have more MetaMask accounts, right? Big accounts. So you log in and out with different seed phrases. So if something happens to you, gets exposed, then still only a portion of your portfolio will be gone only. And again, I want to emphasize, if you have at least a few thousand in crypto, then you should buy Ledger or Trezor, hardware wallet, which gives you an extra level of safety. And I also want to mention, we will talk about this later again, that if you interact with decentralized applications, in many cases it makes sense for you to have separate addresses in the wallet for those, so you don't risk your portfolio, your money, right? So basically from one address you send money to another address, and then you interact with protocols on that particular address. So this was the intro to wallets, and talk to you in the next video. Yo guys, what's up? So today we are gonna do a MetaMask and Ledger setup. So as you can see, in the background I have a Brave browser already installed on my Mac. I have a new Ledger Nano S, which is in the corner visible right now. I can move it a bit for you. Wonderful. And besides that, I also have Ledger Live, the application installed, but nothing else. So currently I don't have MetaMask browser extension in Brave, so let's start with that. So I will go MetaMask Brave, accept all, blah blah blah. Where is it? Da, da, da. So basically, all right, settings, extensions, Brave Web Store, and there it is, MetaMask, wonderful. So, ton of users, wonderful. Add to Brave, add extension. Now, there it is. So also we want to make this pinned. Cool, so here is your MetaMask extension. You can click on it, it's gonna be the same, doesn't really matter. So for now, what we are gonna do, we will create a new wallet. So I will make my seed phrase visible in this video just for educational purposes, but of course you shouldn't do that, right? So I will create a new MetaMask account with a seed phrase, and I'm gonna show you the seed phrase. So because everyone knows my seed phrase, I will never use this MetaMask except for this video. So let's create a new wallet. You should read all these. I'm not gonna do that right now. I agree to the terms, and then we will make a password. Doesn't matter what I use really. For now, I'm gonna show it to you, whatever. 1, 2, 3, the real world. I will do that twice. I check the box and then I create the password. Now the password is only important on your laptop or device when you use your MetaMask, right? When you reinstall your MetaMask extension to log in with a seed phrase, you will have to create a new password. So password is temporary. Password is there to protect you if you leave your laptop unattended and someone touches your laptop and wants to go into your MetaMask, but it's password protected. So that's about the password, and let's create a new wallet, and then we will get the seed phrase soon. Wait. Yeah, you should watch this video. I talk about this a lot. And I'm gonna secure my wallet, write down your secret recovery phrase. Yes, that's what you should do. And now let's reveal it. So we have these 12 words. This is your private key on the chain, and it's in a form of a seed phrase. So basically you take these 12 words, write them down, and never show it to anyone. Now, some people argue that you should never upload it to anywhere, or you should put it in a locker. You choose your own method. What I do usually is I write this down, then offline I will create a text file, then I will encrypt the text file with a super strong password and upload it online. Sometimes I also switch up some words and leave some keys, but that's me. You have to just make sure that you will always have access to your seed phrase, but no one else will. That's the most important thing. So that's why I encrypt my seed phrase and then I upload it to several places online. If anyone finds it, they cannot get the information because I have a super strong password that I use and they don't know that password, right? So that's about it. I will write down these for now because then I have to retype it and then we can go to the next page. So give me 1 second here. And again, so far Ledger is not involved. This is only a hot wallet, right? MetaMask. And this is the first step because I keep telling you to use Ledger with MetaMask for a reason, and I will show you why. Easily Fury. Yeah, so basically now you have these words. I go to the next page here. If you wrote it down, you should know these words already. Fourth one is menu, almost. It should be clever. Yeah, you should be clever with this. Confirm, done, right? But it could happen that you have a typo in one of your words. So what I usually do is after I am logged in, I would right now, if I was on my own and not for just showing it to you, I would remove the extension right now, and then I would try to recover from seed phrase. Actually, let's just do that because this is the safest way, because again, now that I wrote down my seed phrase, I could have made a mistake. So that wouldn't be fun after. So when I'm doing these things, I am always super safe. So let's remove it for now. Okay. Whatever, doesn't really matter what you do. And then you remove this, and now add to Brave again, add extension. So if you remove the extension, that will remove your seed phrase. So if you wanna log in with a new seed phrase, you always have to remove your extension. Now we are importing an existing wallet, right? Now we have those words because I have it on the paper next to me. I will just type them real quick. You can see them, whatever. Draw, gain, menu. The interface is so bad. The tab is not really working here. And sometimes you make a typo here as well, and then you have to retype all the words, but it's still much better than not doing it, right? Because if you don't do it, and then you get logged out, you lose your laptop, whatever, and then you have to recover from your seed phrase, and actually you had a mistake here, then you are screwed, right? So for instance, this word is easily. What if you just type easy because you misread it, right? So no fun. All right, I am in, because now I have to create the password again as I said it, and then I will use the same password, doesn't matter. The real world. And I'm gonna import my wallet. I am in again, next, done, wonderful. It's the same, right? So as I told you before, when you have a public key and a private key pair on Ethereum chain, most blockchains, then when you generate these addresses and accounts, it's always going to be the same addresses and accounts in the same order, right? So it doesn't matter how many times you have to recover your seed phrase, how many times you have to use it on different devices. It's always going to be the same set of addresses, right? You can add more here, create account 2, you add it. But again, if I remove everything again and then I start adding new accounts, it's going to be the same accounts, basically. And again, the account and the address, sometimes people use that interchangeably. Even I do that sometimes, but you just have to get used to this confusion. So basically you have a MetaMask instance that I call account with one seed phrase, right? And then what happens, you can have many accounts or addresses with that seed phrase. That's what we do, right? We have 2 of these now and the seed phrase is still the same. All right, so now we have MetaMask added, and now let's do ledger setup. So I connected my ledger to my computer and I have the application too. So let's start with the ledger, right? You see my hands, you see the ledger. I can move this a little bit. And let's start doing it. So basically you click, press left or right button to navigate. Wonderful. Let's validate. No, not yet. Set up as new device or restore from recovery phrase. Now we just want to set up a new device again. Choose pin code. Double click. Okay, pin code. I will just do 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Confirm pin code. Yeah, this is painful, this is slow, but you should do it. And I know these devices are not convenient, we all know that, but we do it anyway. You could lose a shit ton of money if you didn't pay attention here. So, wonderful. Now we have to do the same thing. We have to write down the recovery phrase, seed phrase here as well. And then you see I will have to write this down actually on paper as well. So, fuck. Excuse me here. Yeah, do you see it now? Yes, it's good. Cool. So the first one is gasp. So I was thinking to include this part of the video, but actually I will just do it because you should see that it's a pain, but you have no choice. Minor is the second word. And then the next one is index. If you know what we are doing here, then just skip ahead a little bit and then you will see the more important parts of this video as well. Speed, urge, gloom, iron, inner. Yeah, some of the words are kind of weird, like don't fit in the picture. Recycle. And then we have 3 more here. Spin, budget, and the last one will be badge. All right, we have the 12 words, and now what we will have to do is retype it. Okay. Oh no, this is more words. I forgot. Yeah, Ledger has more words. So this is gonna be even slower. Traveler, alert, uniform. And truck, heart, truck, heart, fragment and weapon. This is gonna be a long video this way. rescue, soda slot, moment swing, all right, now we have to confirm, and we have to choose them one by one again. This is painful, but you have no choice here. You have to go through this process. So the first one was gas, basically. So gasp, minor, index. It's annoying because it's not even in alphabetical order. Speed, urge, gloom, iron and inner, right, so when you have to confirm, you use the two buttons at the same time, you press them, otherwise you just do left and right. And now it's recycle. I hope I won't fuck it up. I don't wanna make this video too long. Next one is spin. And then, yeah, sometimes you should count it, because again you could mess it up and then it takes long again. So 11 is 1. A budget. Badge. Travel alert. And then the next should be uniform. Next one is truck. And then heart. Almost there, fragment. I always have to click so much, so annoying. Weapon. Nice rescue. Soda. Slot. Moment and swing. Okay. Right. Keep them in secure place. Wonderful. Yes, never share them with anyone. And we are pressing both buttons to confirm. Now it's processing. And now your device is ready. And press both buttons to enter the dashboard. And now we are in the settings. Install application. Now we will install the Ethereum app. So open Ledger Live to install apps. So now I'm gonna go to my Ledger Live and okay, I will go back. So basically, let's fix it. Connecting. It's a bit slow. It says I am connecting, but I'm not seeing anything just yet. Yeah, these things can happen. You have to be patient. I can just also reconnect my ledger to the computer, maybe. I don't know. And so basically, I turn it off. I open it again. I type the PIN code again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now let's see if it's connecting. If it's not connecting, I will just try a different port on my computer. I don't know. Let's see. Go back. Yeah, so something should pop up on your ledger when this happens. I will just close the application for now, and I'm gonna reopen it. So I know it's not that's another one. Wonderful. And this one is not connecting. So I will just remove it again. And I will use a different port. Wonderful. All right, I might cut this part out. I will see. But it's better if you can see the pain that comes with it. Don't get discouraged. Happens to everyone. Nah, connected good. So I just use a different USB port and I restarted the app. It happens sometimes. I used the application with different ledger yesterday, so maybe that was it. And now you have to click again, allow the ledger manager with double click. Done. And now it's loading. And for some reason, the Ethereum application is not installed yet, so we will just do that right away. So we will install Ethereum application. That's the only one I like to install. So I told you why I do that, because I use Ledger through MetaMask, and you don't have that much space on your Ledger. You can already see this one is using up 48 kilobytes, and the capacity is like 156 kilobytes. So you don't have the space to install all these applications. And with Ethereum installed, all the other EVM chains like Avalanche, for instance, or Phantom, or Binance Smart Chain, they all can be used through MetaMask. Of course, if you want Solana coins, then you will have to install the Solana application as well. Otherwise, I don't think you will use Bitcoin chain too much, or you should definitely not use XRP or Cardano. You don't need those. So my Ledger Nano S is installed and working, and I will just connect to the Ethereum app. You see it reads Ethereum on my Ledger, and now application is ready. Now it's connecting. Reopen my Ledger. So you have all these other tabs. I don't really use those actually. Let me check if I have any accounts. That's not the current ledger. That's not the ledger. So I don't like this application, right? So it's a bit clumsy sometimes. Accounts, and I will just say, I don't even know what I should do here. As account, I will add an account. Maybe it doesn't matter how many ledgers you connect to this application, it will just add new ones. So it tells me to open Ethereum app, so I will just do that. I open Ethereum app on my ledger, and now it's loading the addresses from my ledger actually. Update on firmware, okay. I have my recovery phrase, downloading an update. So yes, it's a pain. Once you set it up though, I don't really have to interact with this application. I just, again, connect it to my computer, and then I will just use MetaMask anyway. So this is just the setup. This is just the setup phase, and I just want to show you what we are doing right now is basically, I just want to show you the account and address accounts and addresses for this particular ledger without MetaMask. I already made a video about it, but wait, let's update the firmware. Perform update. Now pin code again. So, and now I typed my pin code, and now it's restarting, processing. Should take a few more seconds. Nice, it's updated. And I have to re-enter my pin code once again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are in. Reinstall apps, wonderful. We'll have to do that as well. Okay, hello Ledger Manager. And now we are in once again. And Ethereum is installing. You can see it here. A few more seconds. Yeah, you see now it's an updated application. It's 50 kilobytes, not 48. Cool. Add account, open the Ethereum application on your device, double click, we are in. So now I'm gonna add an account. A little bit slow, get used to it. All right, so I'm gonna call this something else just for you to see. Ethereum 3. Add account. Done. So this account, accounts, can I see the address somehow? I don't even know how to check that because again, I never use that. Okay, let's go back to my accounts. So this one has tokens in it, but that doesn't matter. Receive. Continue. Well, I'm gonna learn this with you. All right, here it is, right? So this should be the address that belongs to this. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna import the first account for this ledger in MetaMask. And what we should see is this address will match with that address. So let's go here and connect hardware wallet. To do that, you will have to close the application. So just remember this. I will just copy paste this and send it to myself. Let's say, just put it here. We can double check it later. And I just closed the application. So now you can see here, Nano S connect. Hopefully it's gonna find it. Sometimes when you jump back and forth between the application and MetaMask, it throws an error. You have to reconnect your device, stuff like that. But again, I only open the application to show you around. I don't really open the Ledger application. I just use the device with MetaMask. And it doesn't seem to find it, right? So application is ready. So now, again, continue, paired, wonderful. Now it's gonna see it. So nice. Do you see this? So as I told you, the same seed phrase or private key and public key pair will always generate the same addresses. So as you see, this is exactly the same address. And what MetaMask does, it already calculates your next accounts. That these accounts, the next 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we haven't added it in Ledger application, right? So this is the connection between Ethereum addresses and private public key pairs. So if you lose your MetaMask, your laptop, your Ledger, doesn't matter. What you need is your seed phrase. Once you have your seed phrase, if you have your seed phrase, you can always access all the addresses that belong to it. And you don't have money in your MetaMask. You don't have money on your Ledger. You have money on that Ethereum address, which is on the blockchain. You have money on the blockchain. With the seed phrase, you can access those addresses. And the Ledger and MetaMask will help you to access these addresses, right? So again, MetaMask is just a software UI. Ledger is just a hardware kind of UI as well, right? So basically, you have your seed phrase, and these software and hardware wallets will help you access these addresses that belong to that particular seed phrase. So now I will just select this one and I will unlock it. And here we are. And as you see, we still have the hot wallet accounts that we set up before. But those two belong to the MetaMask seed phrase, right? So you installed MetaMask with a hot wallet seed phrase. And what we do now is we have a seed phrase for ledger. Remember that we just tied on the ledger, and we use MetaMask UI to connect to those addresses. So currently the first two accounts, these are from the hot wallet. These belong to the MetaMask seed phrase. And this one, the ledger one address, this belongs to the ledger seed phrase. But MetaMask UI is nice, and you can connect your ledger seed phrase basically to MetaMask. That's what's happening here, right? So these addresses belong to a MetaMask hot wallet seed phrase, and this one belongs to ledger seed phrase. And basically that is it. And now you could do anything with your ledger as well, right? So now we are here. Let's go to Aave. Let's go to Aave, which is a lending protocol, and we launch the application. And what you can do is now connect your wallet. We will use browser wallet, we will use MetaMask, and you can choose ledger as well, right? So now you are connected to Aave with your ledger address. And what you can do is now you could disconnect. Let's say we disconnect, and now we go to MetaMask again. And now we switch accounts. We will switch to account 1. And then we will tell Aave to connect to that one. And now you are connected again to the same application with a different address, this time with a hot wallet. And that's about it. Basically, this is how you set up MetaMask with Ledger. And of course, there are other videos where we show you how to switch networks, but we can just add the network real quick because they just made it very easy. These are the main networks that basically most people use. So you can just click on add. It will show the chain ID, the currency symbol, this is the RPC and the network name. What's important here is like which RPC you are connected to and what the chain ID is. Of course, for currency symbol, you would choose the token that you pay gas with. So in case of Arbitrum, which is an L2, you would use ETH. And network name, you could call it Arbitrum, Arbitrum1, doesn't really matter. And then there is a block explorer where you can check your transactions. And in the case of Arbitrum, you should use explorer.arbitrum.io. In the case of Ethereum, you would use Etherscan. So approve, switch to Arbitrum1, we just switch network. We can switch back and forth. It doesn't matter which one you are using, Ledger or the hot wallet. Both of them are EVM addresses, so they will work with all the EVM compatible chains. So doesn't matter which network for now. And this should be it. Hopefully you guys find this video useful. In the very beginning, the setup is not the simplest, but once you have it, you will just connect your ledger to your computer and you connect the hardware wallet, you will choose ledger, and then you can add your addresses here. And you don't have to interact too much with the Ledger live application, or basically ever. I don't remember if you can install the Ethereum application directly from your device or you have to use the application, but shouldn't matter too much, right? And again, as for browsers, we recommend Brave or Chrome. I used Brave for this presentation because I have several laptops and I am logged in with the same Chrome, basically, right, under my email. And if you remove the MetaMask extension, then it will remove it from every computer. And I am logged in with different MetaMasks on every laptop. So if I just remove it from on one laptop, then all my MetaMasks get removed and I have to retype the seed phrase for the different accounts on every single laptop, which takes an hour basically. So I don't like to do that. That's why I chose to show you this in Brave. But again, Chrome should be fine. Brave should be fine. Don't use other browsers with MetaMask, and also don't use mobile, please. Mobile is not the best security-wise, so don't do that. Use the browser, Chrome, Brave, use the MetaMask extension, use Ledger, connect Ledger through MetaMask, and you will be fine. Alright guys, this should be it for this video, and if you have any questions, let me know. Yo guys, what's up? So yesterday someone asked me if he can connect to his Ledger addresses without MetaMask. And I don't like this question at all, because it shows that that person still doesn't understand the very basics. I keep telling you guys this, so now I'm gonna clear it up again. So your wallet is just an access method to your Ethereum accounts and addresses. So the wallet UI just basically a helper method for you to have access, right? The number one question, or the only main question, is who controls the private key. If you use MetaMask as a hot wallet, then you have your private key. If you have a Ledger, which is a cold wallet, then you still have your private key. If you use an exchange like Binance, then Binance has your private key. So that's the danger right there, right? If Binance or FTX decides to take your money, there is nothing you can do about it. What's good when it comes to these centralized exchanges, that you don't have to understand anything, because basically everything is taken care of. So the UI is much easier, and that's why many people use it. But as you all know, we don't recommend holding too much money on exchanges because of what happened to FTX, for instance. So now let's get back to the question of Ledger versus MetaMask, and I recommend you guys to use Ledger through MetaMask. But the question was if you can do it without. Yes, you can. So what's the difference then? First of all, that MetaMask is a hot wallet, Ledger is a cold wallet, right? So what you have to understand is that it's all about the private key still. So the idea with the Ledger is that you don't have to type your private key, also known as seed phrase in this case. You don't have to type that on your laptop or computer ever, right? That's what makes it safer, because you never upload it accidentally. If somebody has access to a computer because you clicked on a malicious link, whatever, that person will not have access to your seed phrase in any case. So that's why we tell you that never type your Ledger seed phrase into a hot wallet, right? Could you do that? Yes, you could. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's just a public and private key pair. And if you generate it on the Ledger, doesn't matter, it's still a public and private key pair that you could use with any other wallet. So if you create a new account with your Ledger, that's again gonna be a private key there, the seed phrase. But once you type that into MetaMask, you screwed it up, because from that point on, it already behaves like a hot wallet because it was typed on a laptop, on a computer once already. So basically that defeats the purpose. So now that we clear this up, other thing, when you create addresses, right? So let me show you. I will go to my MetaMask. When you add these accounts, right? I have several accounts right here, and currently my Ledger is not connected here. So these are generated through MetaMask. So this is just hot wallet addresses. I don't have Ethereum in here, but if I switch to Arbitrum, I have some, right? So this is what I'm using to make the lessons. So basically what you have to understand is that when you create these accounts and then you remove these accounts or whatever, these or addresses, right? It again, I know it's confusing. Sometimes we use this interchangeably and it's a mess, but whenever let's create these account 1, account 2, which are basically addresses. Whenever I do that, that's generated based on your private and public key. So even if this gets removed, even if you log out, whatever, if you use your seed phrase in another wallet and you unlock your wallet, let's put it that way, and you re-add these accounts, then the exact same account numbers or addresses will be added because they are generated based on an algorithm and the input is your private and public key. So whenever you ask these questions like, can I access my addresses through Ledger or MetaMask or both, or how should I do that? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you have control of your private key, and if you use that with any ledger and try to re-add the addresses, then the same addresses will be generated in the same particular order that you control with your private key. All right, we clear this up. So now I am going back to my ledger, and as you can see, I only installed Ethereum application. I tell you to do that. Also, these applications take up space, and as you see, the Ledger Nano S is, well, limited storage, right? I have 88 kilobytes free, and as you can see, some of these applications are pretty huge, so I couldn't even install Cardano. Not that I wanted it, but that's my point. And if you connect your ledger through MetaMask, you only have to install Ethereum, and you can access all the different EVM chains through MetaMask, which in my opinion makes it much easier, and I like it much more. So, but you could use just your ledger, and then if I click on accounts, what you will see here is this is an Ethereum network. I have two addresses here which are not shown, and I will not show you. Point is that if you see this amount and we will connect the ledger to MetaMask and we add the first account from the ledger, it's gonna be the same account, right? That was my main point here. So what I'm gonna do now here is like, I will connect to my hardware wallet. And to be able to connect here, you have to close the Ledger live application. So I'm just gonna do that you don't have to see. And now that's disconnected, that application. And now I will click on Ledger and I will click on continue. Yes, I'm choosing my Nano S and I am connecting. Ledger device, unknown error. Wonderful, application ready. Let's do it again. Paired, right? Connect. Nice, it's working. Looking for my ledger. Again, you have to be in the Ethereum application and it displays application ready on my device. What is it here? MetaMask, right? Continue, connect. Yes, I'm choosing this. I'm unlocking the first account. And this is Arbitrum network, so I have 0 Ethereums, of course. If I switch to Ethereum mainnet, you see, this is exactly the same number that you could see in the Ledger Live application. So again, when you start adding accounts based on the same private and public key pair, then it will generate always the same ones. So again, now we have accessed the same address through MetaMask. And this way, I don't have to install all the applications on the ledger, and I could still switch between the networks. So that's really nice in my opinion, and I like to use it this way, makes it much easier. And basically, this was the presentation. So talk to you next time. Ciao. Yo guys, what's up? Today we are going to talk about how to split up your money among your addresses and what kind of technical setup you should have, like how many laptops, ledgers, treasures, MetaMask accounts, etc. So this question depends a lot on your portfolio size actually. So I'm going to use kind of a larger portfolio for starters because that's going to be a much better example. So first of all, let's start with a laptop. Right? So the way it works, you have a laptop, which is going to be this circle, right? Because that's the outer thing. And on the laptop, you have, let's say, a MetaMask account and then another MetaMask account, right? Let's say this one is Brave, the other one is Chrome, whatever. And then you have several addresses in each account. Let's say 3, right? So we'll use some text here as well for you guys to understand, which is laptop. Here, MetaMask 1, let's move this a little bit here, and then MetaMask 2, right? So now we have this simple setup with one laptop. And then you can also have a ledger, which is good because it's separate from your laptop. That's super important, right? That the ledger is a very different thing. The idea is that your seed phrase is not connected to the computer. So now we will have a ledger here, and then we will have some addresses that you use on the ledger as well, right? Let's say 3 addresses. And then we will add the text here as well. Ledger could be Trezor, doesn't really matter. Any cold wallet would be fine here. And then what we will do here is split up your portfolio. And before I do that, I want to mention something. This is split up based on the seed phrase on MetaMask level 1, MetaMask level another seed phrase, MetaMask 2, and then ledger. So those are 3 seed phrases. These 2 MetaMask accounts hot wallets are on the same laptop. And then, of course, the ledger is separated. So you have to understand the risks with each thing and together, right? If your laptop gets exposed, both of your accounts could be exposed, right? Both seed phrases could be gone. If the seed phrases are gone, all the money on each addresses within the seed phrases would be gone, right? That's super important. And if your laptop gets exposed, of course, your ledger is not exposed because the seed phrase is not there, because the seed phrase is separated from the laptop. That's why it's called wallet, and that's how you should use the ledger. Never type the ledger seed phrase into a laptop, MetaMask, hot wallet, whatever, because again, you could do that, but you shouldn't. So now we have one laptop setup and one laptop, one ledger currently. And of course, don't forget, if you sign a transaction, a malicious transaction, then you can lose money anyways. But it's important in that case, you only lose money on one address. So now we have 9 addresses. If you sign a malicious transaction, doesn't matter if it's Ledger or MetaMask, then you could lose all your money on that particular address. But again, if you have more addresses, you will be fine. So now let's start to use some numbers, right? So let's say that you have altogether 100K. And then just to make it even more simplistic than this, to use even numbers, I'm gonna add one more address on the ledger. So now we have 4 addresses on the ledger, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 addresses on each MetaMask. So now we have 100K, and then I will start adding money, right? 10K, I'm gonna move this here, 10K, right? But I'm not gonna type all of it, or should I? Maybe it's easy. No, it's not that easy, right? What I want to do here is to split up the money in an even manner. So point is that each address will now have 10K. So if you expose one address with a malicious transaction, then of course you cannot lose more than 10K. Is that a lot of money? Well, it depends on your, again, portfolio size, on your income level, right? So let's say this is your crypto portfolio, but then if you make a ton of money on the side, let's say your monthly income is 20K, which is a lot, I just made it up, then that's not that huge compared to your portfolio size. But if you don't make cash at all, then this 100K is a lot, right? So there is more things to consider. And you also have to consider the price of the laptop, right? So the laptop costs, let's say, $1,500, right? So if you have a 100K portfolio, it might be a good idea to have several laptops, right? And double this setup, and then you will be even safer if you don't want to lose that money. Maybe you don't want to have two MetaMask seed phrases on one laptop, whatever. It's up to you to decide. For instance, in my case, I use one laptop for clicking on everything and work. I don't touch really crypto with that. I only use that laptop for educational purposes, right? So I could open it up here, and then you would see there is some money in it. I don't really care about that money. I have 4 accounts, right? So that would be like my first laptop, and then I have a few accounts, but I don't have money in it, right? Because I don't want to lose money, because on this laptop, I just click on everything. I have 3 other laptops just for crypto. For instance, in my case, it's important to have that because my portfolio is huge. So again, up to you. So now if you make a calculation for yourself, let's say you have 100K portfolio size, and then you have one laptop which you paid 1,500 for that laptop, right? And then you split up into 10 addresses, 4 on the ledger, 2 seed phrases on the MetaMask accounts. So now, do you care if your laptop gets exposed, right? That's the first. That's another question. If your portfolio size is 100K and your laptop gets exposed, and then you lose 60K because you give out both your seed phrases, or people still bought your seed phrases through your laptop, then your portfolio could go down to 40K. Well, that's a big loss, right? You could say. So you might consider a different setup. In this case, you could have more ledgers, right? And then don't use that much money on the laptop. Keep most of your money on the ledgers. And you can also have several ledgers, right? You could have, with 100K portfolio size, you could have, let's say, 20K on the laptop in one MetaMask. And then you could have 4 ledgers, each with 20K. Does it make sense? It does make sense. Why? Because ledger costs a few $100s, right? And then you want to protect your money. So with a portfolio size this big, there are so many ways to do it, right? You could have several laptops and split this up even in that way, which is fine, or more ledgers. That's also fine. Just make sure that you understand the risks and how you can lose your money. And again, it's a good idea to create several addresses, because if you sign a malicious transaction, then nothing can protect you. On the other hand, if your portfolio size is very low, then what do? Well, if you barely have any money, the laptop is very expensive for you, right? And then ledger could be also very expensive for you. If you have a few $100s, then you can have just one MetaMask account and you are fine, right? Because you shouldn't care about that much money anyway, because you should generate cash flow in a different way, right? You shouldn't care about losing $300 in the first place, because you then do something wrong, or you are at the beginning of your road. But in that case, you will have to make cash anyways. So if you make cash on the side, you won't care about that few $100s, right? And as your portfolio grows, you always have to reconsider this, right? And as your cash flow changes and everything, you have to have this in context and understand the risks and all these things, and then you are gonna be fine. Again, if your portfolio is huge, then more ledgers, more laptops. I recommend that, and split it up among more addresses. And you can create like addresses that you use for dApps and that you use for Vault, right? So I would say there is like an address for dApps, right? Because then if you use dApps, what's going to happen? Signing transactions, right? And then if you have a Vault address, right, only send money through your other addresses. Send or receive money, other addresses. Super important. In this case, if you have a Vault address, then you won't expose it to dApps and you don't really sign transactions, right? The only transaction that you will sign in this case would be sending money in and out through other addresses, right? So what you could do, you could transfer between your accounts, and that's the safest thing you can do. You don't interact with any decentralized applications if you use an address as Vault, right? You should have some addresses that you use to interact with applications. But again, if you expose that address, then you could lose money. And if you expose the seed phrase once again, you could lose even more money. So just be logical when it comes to this. Do some reasoning. Understand, the costs, like how much do you have to pay for it, for the ledger, for the laptop? What's your portfolio size? What's your cash flow? What is the address for? Do you use the address to farm airdrops, or do you use the address to swap coins on decentralized exchanges, right? That's a dApp as well, so be careful with signing transactions. Or you use an address as a vault, in which case you just hold your money there and you shouldn't interact really with anything but your other addresses, and then just keep your money there. And if you have a vault address, of course, it should be on a ledger. All right, this is it for this video. Yo guys, in this video, I'm gonna tell you how to send money between Ledger, MetaMask, and addresses in general. There is a basic confusion about addresses and wallets in crypto, especially when it comes to non-custodial wallets where you have the seed phrase. Because when you use a centralized exchange like Binance, all these things are basically abstracted away. So you don't see the seed phrase. You just see some addresses and you send money from here to there. But in the background, your centralized exchange has your seed phrase, your private key, which means that they can freeze your addresses or account because they have control over it with the seed phrase, not you. So if you have a non-custodial wallet like with MetaMask or with Ledger, you control them with the seed phrase, right? Your money is on the blockchain under addresses, and the addresses are controlled with the private keys with the seed phrases. So basically, if you have the seed phrase, you are fine. So let's say you lose your Ledger, it's okay because you can just get another Ledger, use the same seed phrase, and just log in with that Ledger. And same with MetaMask. If you accidentally uninstall it or whatever, if you have the seed phrase, you can just log in with by reinstalling MetaMask or just with a separate laptop. And many people ask me, what should you do if you, let's say, think that your ledger is exposed? So what you can do easily is sending the money from addresses that are controlled with that seed phrase that belongs to that particular ledger at the moment. You can just send it to different addresses that are controlled by other seed phrases. So for instance, if I show you up here in the MetaMask where my ledger is connected, what you could do actually is getting money from ledger 1 to account 1, 2, 3, or 4, because account 1, 2, 3, and 4 are controlled by your MetaMask seed phrase. But ledger 1, it's connected with ledger, so this one is controlled by ledger seed phrase. So if you think you are exposed, then super quickly you can just send money from the ledger address to any of these other accounts, right? And then even though someone, let's say, accidentally gets access to your seed phrase, it doesn't matter because these addresses are not controlled by the seed phrase, it's controlled by the MetaMask seed phrase, so your money is safe, right? And another question is that many people ask, what happens if you forget to erase the ledger before using it? I always recommend erasing the ledger before using it because you don't know who touched it, what happened to it. So always erase and then start using it. And see, some people wonder what to do if they didn't erase that ledger and then they keep money on that ledger with that new seed phrase that they are using. Again, temporarily, you can send it to MetaMask, hot wallet, whatever address is, or you can send it to separate the seed phrase that you access with ledger addresses, right? Doesn't really matter. The point is that the current seed phrase that you have with the ledger, you think that it could be exposed, then you send the money to hot wallet or to another cold wallet address and then erase your ledger, reinstall the ledger with a new seed phrase, and then send the money back to the ledger, which now is accessed by a new seed phrase. That's how you do it. And again, if you look at this MetaMask UI, ledger is connected again, controlled by a different seed phrase, which is on ledger, which never touched the laptop, and account 1, 2, 3, and 4 are controlled with this MetaMask hot wallet seed phrase. So that's how it is, and this is what you have to pay attention to. So make sure you understand the basics because you control your addresses with the seed phrase. Doesn't matter if it's a ledger, doesn't matter if it's a MetaMask. If it's a non-custodial wallet, you can control your addresses with your seed phrase. So you have to make sure that it doesn't get exposed. If you think it could in some ways, then send your money to addresses that are controlled by a different seed phrase and then create a new seed phrase with ledger and send the money back. Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about which centralized exchanges and payment infra products you should use to get your money on chain. First of all, remember that you should keep most, if not all of your money in a decentralized manner accessed by non-custodial wallet like MetaMask. The problem with centralized entities is that they have your private key. Not your private key, not your coins. If anything happens to that centralized exchange, for instance, they go bankrupt, or if they don't like you, they can just freeze your account because they have your private key. On the other hand, if your money is kept in a decentralized manner and you have your own own private key, then no one can take your coins. But first, to get your coins there, you have to use some centralized entity to deposit your fiat and have it as crypto like ETH or USDC. So you will have to use centralized entities, but make sure you understand how you have to use it. Many people ask us all the time which centralized exchange or product they should use to deploy their money in crypto. And it's very hard to answer this because it's location dependent and crypto is changing quickly. So if you are in the US, the rules are very different compared to if you are in Poland, for instance. So you should talk to your peers, you should talk to your fellow countrymen and people in your area to figure out what products to use exactly. Again, we cannot just recommend you something, because if I tell you to use this, maybe the rules will change by tomorrow, right? And let's say I recommend a product today, and then the rules will change for a certain country tomorrow for that particular platform. And then again, it's very confusing. So this is something that you have to figure out on your own, but I'm gonna give you a few examples or a few platforms that will work for most people. And remember, don't use any scam sites. There are so many fake platforms, crypto platforms. Make sure you do your own research. And again, for most people, usually top 10 exchanges and products will work. So I will give you a few, but again, don't forget to do your own research. So personally, I am using Coinbase and Binance. And even for these are the largest exchanges. Even for these, the regulations are different in different countries. So you have to make sure you read the rules that apply to you. So Coinbase, Binance, and Bybit are huge exchanges that will work for most people. There are a few more. I'm not gonna name them here, but you will find them. And then, so these are centralized exchanges. You send your money in here and buy crypto with your cash. And then withdraw your money from the centralized exchange to your MetaMask or other non-custodial wallet. So it's going to be on chain and the centralized exchange cannot take it from you. And I will name one more product here. Again, there are similar ones to this. MoonPay, it's basically the way they advertise themselves is your gateway to Web3. What you can do here is, for instance, buying BTC or ETH, other coins, USD or other currencies, and then give them an address and they will send the coins directly to your on-chain address. So with this, you don't have to touch centralized exchanges, because again, if you use centralized exchanges first, you have to buy crypto on a centralized exchange and then you have to withdraw it from the centralized exchange. So this is the quick video on this topic, but make sure you do your own research and make sure you keep most of your money on chain. Yo guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to find and compare the exchanges. So if you go to coingecko.com, you can click on the exchanges tab and choose the crypto exchanges. These are gonna be the centralized exchanges. And then here you can see the list. Trust score is super important. And of course, you can see the volume as well. So as I said in the previous video as well, I use Binance, Bybit, and Coinbase mostly. I also have Kraken and KuCoin registration, but your situation could be different based on your location. So many crypto traders use Bybit or Binance, and many people also have registration on Coinbase and KuCoin as well, because for instance, many altcoins only available on KuCoin. But again, you have to consider many things here. So make sure you also cross-reference the data. You can use CoinMarketCap as well. You check the data. Very similar, again, same names showing up. Trust score is very similar too. You can see the volume and liquidity as well. So Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Bybit, KuCoin, these are the big names, right? And if you just wanna deploy ETH on chain, then basically any would work if you can register, if it works in your country. But sometimes you have to check the coin first, right? Because let's say you wanna buy GMX, that's gonna be our example. You go to the GMX coin and then you wanna buy it on spot and you see where it's available, which exchanges. Here, there are some decentralized exchanges as well, but if you go through the names, you will see the familiar names once again. So for instance, GMX is available on Binance and Bybit from the previously mentioned ones, also on KuCoin, and you can see the volume, right? And the depth as well. So if your size is small, the depth and the volume is not that important, but always make sure that it's really available on the exchange where you want to get it. So once again, I'm going to check CoinMarketCap as well. Again, very similar data. Here you can again see Binance, Bybit. Let me check. Yeah, no Coinbase, right? So if you have a Coinbase registration and want to buy GMX, you cannot buy it on any centralized exchanges. But as I said earlier, in most cases, you want to buy the coins on the centralized exchanges. And for that reason, if you can just register on one or two centralized exchanges, you will be able to send the coins from the centralized exchanges into your MetaMask wallet, and you will be able to access the decentralized exchanges. Again, there are certain coins that will be exceptions. There are certain coins that cannot be bought on decentralized exchanges, and you have to buy them on centralized exchanges, but it's very rare. For now, your main job is going to be just to have one or two registrations, and you have to make sure you can get ETH or maybe BTC, USDC, or something similar on chain, right? So what you have to do, register through a centralized exchange and then try to withdraw money to your MetaMask wallet. Yo guys, in this video I am gonna show you how to send money from centralized exchanges to decentralized exchanges. So we will use Coinbase and Binance as examples. I'm not gonna make the transactions, but I'm gonna tell you what to pay attention to, and then I'm gonna show you Uniswap as well, which is the main DEX decentralized exchange as of now in crypto basically. And then Coinbase and Binance are two of the largest centralized exchanges. So let's say you are on Coinbase. The terms are not always the same for every single platform, but you have to pay attention to is like you can do on-ramp and off-ramp as well, right? So if you want to do fiat to crypto, then you will buy and sell. You can check Euro wallet or dollar wallet, whatever currency you have, and you can buy and sell too. And the other thing that you can do is send or receive, which is deposit or withdraw in certain cases, right? So here it's the terms send and receive are used. When it comes to Binance, the terms are deposit and withdraw. Buy and sell, that's the same, right? So that's when connected to fiat. Or you just want to convert one coin to another crypto coin. But that's buy sell, right? When you want to choose any of these things here, again in Binance too, you can convert, let's say, Bitcoin to Ethereum. But when you withdraw or deposit, it means your coin will go or come from a separate address. Doesn't matter if it's a Coinbase address or it's an address that you have the seed phrase for, right? Like in MetaMask. So basically you keep your money in a decentralized way by using MetaMask, and then you can send money from Binance to this address as well, or you could send money from this address to Binance. It doesn't matter. It's all on the network. In this case, on Ethereum chain. The difference is that when you use a Binance or Coinbase or any centralized exchange, you don't have control over your seed phrase. So you have to pay attention how you keep your money, where you keep your money, because if Binance goes down or Coinbase goes down, then your money is lost. If you keep it in a decentralized manner, no one can take it from you, which is very good. So in most cases, you should be using centralized exchanges for off-ramp and on-ramp for fiat. Or if you want to trade, then you can keep a small part of your portfolio on decentralized exchanges, but don't keep all your money on centralized exchanges. So let's take a quick look here. 7 Coinbase. What I could do here is take my Ethereum and I would like to send it somewhere. So in which case I type an address here, would copy the address from here, put it in here, and then you can send an optional message, which in most cases won't matter. It doesn't matter in this case either, so I just don't. But what's important is on one hand, which asset you want to use and on which chain. Before sending it, you can also choose which network to use, right? So you could send USDC to Polygon, Avalanche, Arbitrum, and Ethereum as well, which matters a lot if you want to use airdrops, for instance, or you want to buy coins on a certain chain, for instance, right? You have to know on which chain you want to get your money on, and you have to decide it before you make the transaction happen. You could bridge later, so you can go between chains, but it's an extra transaction, might take time, hard to find a bridge for it, or just expensive fees. Gas fees on Ethereum are quite high all the time, so you have to pay attention to that as well, right? And as you know, you can switch network in MetaMask as well. So let's say if you send USDC on Arbitrum to this MetaMask account address here, then you can switch network and it will arrive on that particular network. So that's important as well, right? Your money is connected to a network. So if you send it to Ethereum, it's going to live on Ethereum network, and if you send it to Arbitrum, it's going to live on Arbitrum network. And some coins are only available on certain networks, so definitely pay attention to this. And when you withdraw from a centralized exchange, they will only recommend you the available chains for that particular coin. So if I check another coin, let's say I wanna do the same with Chainlink, here you cannot even change the network, which means it's gonna be on Ethereum most likely. That's only available on Ethereum, right? I could try ETH. Let's see ETH just in case, and you will see here you can choose a few more networks. Like so, Optimism is available for ETH as well, and USDC wasn't. So it's Polygon, Optimism, Avalanche, Arbitrum, and Ethereum. So that's how you do it, for instance, from Coinbase. But it's a very similar process from Binance as well. You could use the address, right, that I use there. Let's say you want to withdraw Ethereum, and then you can choose a network. You see, it's going to be Optimism, Arbitrum, Ethereum, and Binance Smart Chain again, right? So it's a bit different interface, but the same idea. It's called withdraw, right? I told you if you click on any coin and then you click on withdraw, then you will see. You could deposit as well, which means you get it on this platform, right? So if I want to deposit, then your Binance address will pop up, and then you would send the money, for instance, from here, right? From MetaMask, you could click on send and then copy the address, choose a network and send it to a centralized exchange, doesn't matter. Or you could also just send the coins between two centralized exchanges. So if you want to deposit here, you click on the deposit, check the address, let's say for ETH, and then you go to Coinbase and then you go to send, right? So then you go back to here, you click on send. You could also use your Binance address, right? So you can go between centralized exchanges as well if you have to. But the idea here is that you understand that you have to get your money on chain, then you have to withdraw or send in Coinbase case, and you just have to add the address that you want to use, and you have to make sure you use the proper network, which can be super important, right? Currently, I am on Arbitrum network here. I can switch between networks on Uniswap. So let's say I go to Ethereum, switch network, and now I can buy and sell coins in a decentralized way. So this is how you get your money from a centralized exchange to a decentralized exchange. But it's the same the other way around. You could send the money from your MetaMask to the Binance platform, right? And when I say you send your money to a decentralized exchange, you don't send your money to a decentralized exchange. You send it to a non-custodial wallet like MetaMask, and then you connect that MetaMask account to a decentralized application like Uniswap, which happens to be a decentralized exchange. Yo guys, what's up? So today we are gonna buy an altcoin on the Polygon network. I just want to show you what you have to do in general and quickly explain it. I have some other videos about this as well, but this is a short one on how to buy an altcoin on a different chain than Ethereum, right? So first of all, you have to find the coin, have to find out what the address is, what the markets are, what the chain is, where you can buy it. So we will look at Raider, which is a small altcoin on a Polygon network only. So basically, you look for the coin on CoinGecko or Dex Screener or another site, whatever. You find the project, and then of course first you check if this is the token you look for. So you look at the Twitter accounts or Discord or whatever. You should confirm it, right? So I know this is the right token because this one has been around for a while. So these are easier to find. If you want to find another alt though, which is very new, then sometimes you might run into scams. So just make sure you confirm you have the right token address or you find the right token. Again, with larger altcoins and with older coins, this is not an issue. So we are on CoinGecko. We found the Raider project and now we want to buy some. So let's see. You scroll down, you see the address here, right? And it's only Polygon. There is no drop down, so no other chains. And if you scroll down, then you will see that you can only buy this on CoinX and SushiSwap. I'm not sure which exchange this is, I never used it actually. And you can see the volume numbers, the depth, all these things can be important. And you want more depth and larger volume in general. So here, the only viable options should be SushiSwap if this data is correct. And on SushiSwap, on the Polygon chain, right? Here it says Polygon chain. And there are two pools with Ethereum and Matic. So you can ignore this W here. It means wrapped. So some contracts use that, or usually most of the contracts use wrapped Ethereum or wrapped Matic in the background. And you don't have to buy wrapped Matic or wrapped Ethereum usually. You can just use Ethereum and then the platform, the AMMs or the pools will do that for you automatically. And we will take a look at that. So right now, I don't know where you have your money, maybe on exchanges, maybe on another chain. But what you can do is click here, which doesn't matter which pool, and let's try to buy this. All right, so now we already have a little bug here. It's Matic Sushi instead of Raider, right? So does it matter? Not at all. You can see the input and output currencies up here. So let's just confirm, right? So the Raider address is this, and the last three characters are 3B3. So let's check it out. Well, this one is correct. This is the input currency, because if you check it, that was the first one, right? The first one is the input, the second one is the output. So you sell this for this. Of course, if you want to buy Raider, you will have to turn it around, but that's easy. So we go back here. This one seems to be correct, but this is not. But it's easy because if you just take that token address, and I'm just gonna paste it here, it indeed finds Raider. So now we are good to go with this. And the basic setup is good, 0.5 slippage, I am okay with that, but I don't have Matic in my wallet, so I cannot execute transactions because on Polygon chain, you pay for gas with Matic. So first of all, you have to get some Matic on this chain. How do you do that, right? Maybe you have to buy it on exchange and then withdraw it to this particular chain, right? Or you can bridge. In this example, we will bridge, and I'm gonna use Synapse. This is one of the largest bridges, and I have some money on Arbitrum. So I will switch to Arbitrum. Yes, approve, switch network. So now you can see I'm on Arbitrum and I want to get to Polygon. And mind this message, pay attention. This bridge has this clever solution that it will turn some of your money into Matic, right? It's a little money, but should be enough for the first two transactions that you make. So you don't have to bridge Matic, you can bridge USDC as well. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bridge 20 USDCs. Let's make it 25, doesn't matter. Approve USDC, confirm. And now maybe I'm bridging already. But no, not yet, right? That was just an approval. The UI is not the best here either. So bridging funds now, right? So I'm gonna bridge. Yes, gas fee is fine, looks correct, confirm. And now the message is here, bridging from USDC, wonderful. Okay, bridge watcher. We can see we need a few confirmations to make sure the money arrives. It shouldn't take too long because these chains are faster than Ethereum. So waiting to be credited on Polygon, right? So the Arbitrum part is done and now we wait for the Polygon transaction. And it's done. This was very quick. So if I go back to Sushi, and what happened here? Input currency ETH. Oh yeah, I switched chains, so my UI got updated, but now I have to switch back to Polygon. And then I need the Crypto Raider address, Crypto Raider, and you see I have some Matic. And I can do USDC here, and that's not a problem usually. You have to check if it's a problem, right? But let's see. So basically, the route is not shown, but what will happen in the background, even if you switch USDC, is that the USDC will be first swapped for Ethereum or Matic, or here, Ethereum, and then into Raider. So this is the route, which is fine, right? But I want to make sure we have enough gas money here. So let's see if I approve USDC. I don't remember how expensive the transactions are. Yeah, you see, you can make maybe 1 or 2 transactions, but then we would run out of gas. So first of all, I'm going to buy some Matic. So approve bento box. It's the name of the product. I might have to do that. I just want to do maybe $1. It's fine. Approve USDC. Approved. Approve bento box. I hope I will have enough money left. Okay, this is just a signature. And now if the second transaction went through as well, signature transaction, everything, then I can do this and I confirm the swap. Insufficient funds. Wonderful. You see, it's too expensive. So it's funny because Synapse should give us more Matic to be able to do this. So what I'm going to do, I am going to send more money from Synapse and that's it. Another 5 USDC. Oh, no, this is the other way around. Just switch to Arbitrum again. So this is a bit weird, right? You would expect to be able to make 1 or at least 2 transactions because you have to do approvals usually. Amount must be greater than the fee. Okay, 6 USDCs, breaching your funds. Confirm. It's the same action again. We will get those Matics and then we will buy some Matics, so we have no problem anymore. So this is also a good video because you can see that sometimes you run into these issues that you wouldn't even expect, but it can happen. No worries though, these things are just little money, right? So it shouldn't matter at all. Okay, I got it. Let's go back here and let's switch back to Polygon again. Okay, so now I want USDC up here and I have to approve again and now swap, confirm. Still insufficient funds. Interesting. Okay, so this is a bit more expensive transaction. And if you check, what do we have here? Interesting. Maybe we should have enough now. Let's do this again. How about, okay. You see, this is fun. It's fun. Okay, let's see. Now it's fine. So sometimes gas goes up, or actually always the gas goes up and down and it can change from any second. So basically we just wait a little bit longer and now we could swap USDC for Matic. It says again, red Matic doesn't really matter. So now we have enough money to execute transactions. So now we go back to the Raiders address, copy the Raiders address, Raider address. Raiders is a team. And here we choose Raider. And now let's say I want to buy Raider for 15 bucks. Have to approve USDC once again. I said approve. So it's a little bit slow here. Okay. Yes, I confirmed that. I already confirmed that once, so should be fine. Now the UI gets stuck. Doesn't matter. I will reload the page. Sometimes you have to do this reload, but it shouldn't matter at all. Okay, custody. Now you see you can swap it since it's already approved. Let's open the tab. Let's see what we are gonna get. So this is the liquidity provider fee. This is what you pay to liquidity providers to make the transaction. Price impact is super low. We don't really care about that in this case since our buy is very small. And again, you can check the route. So basically what's gonna happen in the background is since there is no USDC pool for Raider, USDC will be swapped to wrapped Ethereum and then that will be swapped to Raider. We are totally fine with that. The expected amount that you will get is basically this, so it's okay. Let's swap, confirm swap, a little bit slow, confirm. And always check the confirmation. Yeah, confirmation, we swapped the tokens, balance updated as well. So we have Raider in our wallet on Polygon chain. And this is it, guys. Talk to you soon. Yo guys, what's up? So today I wanna talk about smart contract risk and what it means. So most people don't know how they could get exposed to these kind of risks, and they don't know how they can protect themselves. And it's very important because you can lose a ton of money. So I will go through the sushi example today because sushi route processor got hacked and some people lost money, but that's crypto, right? So basically, whenever you want to spend tokens on DEXs, you have to approve them, right? So we already talked about token standards, and token standards must have certain functions. And the reason for that is that you want a unified interface. So all these applications in the background can work together seamlessly, right? So all the tokens have the same interface, same code. So it's an easy plug and play with Sushi and Uni, right? If you create a token, you want to make sure it's easy to buy and sell on the main DEXs. So you will use the same token interface, ERC20, like all the other tokens. If you don't do that, then it's just not going to work on Uniswap or SushiSwap. And one of the functions for ERC20 tokens is the approve function, as you can see it here, which means that you give permission to an address the spender to spend a certain amount of your tokens, right? Let's say sushi token or USDC token. And if you want to sell those, of course, you have to approve it. You have no choice. So whenever you want to swap tokens and it's not Ethereum, not ETH, then you have to approve it. And usually when you approve these things, you don't revoke after. What you do is approve for infinite amount, and then you can get easily exposed. Let's say I will give you 2 examples, and then we will go through it. Let's say you have 10,000 USDC, and you want to swap it for Ethereum on Sushi or Uniswap. Then you give permission to Sushi or Uni to spend your tokens, basically. And let's say you spend all of it. So now you have 0 USDC under the address, but you don't revoke. So currently you cannot be exposed because you have no USDC, right? But you didn't revoke the permission. Maybe you will buy USDC 3 weeks from now, and then you buy USDC is sitting there under the address. And then if that Sushi or Uni smart contract gets hacked, like just happened here, then the hackers have the right to spend your tokens, right? And now you have those tokens sitting there, and you gave the approval already, you didn't revoke it. So then your money can be easily gone, right? Same with when you do LPs. When you do LPs, it's the same thing, right? It's in the lesson. Smart contract risk, right? So basically you create LP tokens, you give it to Uniswap to use it, but then if the contract gets hacked, your money is gone. And in this case that I mentioned, right, your money is under your address, but you gave the permission to another address, in this case the Sushi protocol smart contract, to spend that money. So they have access to your money. It doesn't matter if you use Ledger, you use MetaMask, you sign the transaction, it's on the blockchain, and they have the right to spend the money. So when it comes to smart contract risk and these kind of things, again, you are exposed unless you revoke access or first withdraw your money, right? Because when you are LPing, then you have to revoke those tokens. You have to withdraw those tokens first to be protected from the smart contract risk, right? When you stake your coins, it's the same. When you farm, it's the same, right? So you have to be aware of these things. And again, Ledger, MetaMask, those things won't be able to protect you. So let's use an example. So I want to swap some tokens on Sushi. And what I will do, yes, I will buy, you know what? I will buy USDC because you guys will get confused if I use Sushi token on Sushi swap. So let's say I want to buy, I don't like the interface. I want to be able to put the amount I want to buy. It doesn't let me, so I will have to just do this. Right, I will buy $5 of USDC. Transaction signed. Yes, I have this. I have the money now, and what I'm gonna do is try to spend my USDC, right? But I have to approve it first. And currently, what you have to do, right? Approve USDC, and you can check your approvals, but you haven't approved anything yet, so there is not gonna be any approval. So what I will do right now is approve the tokens and come back here. So I go back to swap. I wanna swap once again my USDC for Ethereum, and you will see what happens now. So maximum approve. Now the approval is signed, right? I will use default, and you see this is a huge integer here, which means basically infinite, whatever, right? You see, point, so it's like, how many digits? I don't know, like 50, whatever. So it's like endless money, basically. All right, approved. And now I can swap, right? The interface just updated. And now if I go back to check approvals, you will see, yes, I can spend USDC. So now Sushi has the permission to spend my USDC, and they got exploited. So actually this money could be stolen from me right now, but I don't care, it's $5, right? So just wanted to show it to you. And I can revoke access, and if I revoke here, another transaction, right, it will set it back to 0. So Sushi has the right to spend 0 of my USDCs. So now I'm not exposed anymore. Once this transaction goes through, went through. Now if I go back and want to swap again, I have to approve it once again, because now SushiSwap doesn't have the right to spend my USDC. Okay, approve once again. Use default, the maximum, whatever. Approve. Approved. And now I can swap it back. And if I go back here, check approvals, it's there, right? I can also check it on revoke.cash, which is an application to check all your authorizations. You see, I'm very exposed, you could say, but I don't have money in this account, so it doesn't matter, right? And you will be able to see that which one is, one of them is SushiSwap, right? This one says sushi swap. Where is it? I have to full page reload. It was USDC. What's the current date? 2023. Yeah, this is it, right? So now it's just the contract address, but this is the approval that I want to revoke. So if I revoke it here, I can revoke it from here as well, or I could just go to RBScan interface, whatever, right? To just invoke a function on the backend. So now I revoke this. You see what happens? It sets it back to 0 USDC once again. And if I come back here and I reload this page, then it's gone. No approvals found. If I go back to swap my tokens, I won't be able to do it because I revoked the approval. So now, once again, I have to approve it. I will approve it. And then I will spend it. And I will show you one more thing real quick. Okay, approve. And now, if I swap it back, confirm. Okay, and now let's see the approval. No approvals found, which is weird because usually when you swap it, it doesn't revoke the permission, but maybe they just implemented some quick feature because of the hack. But we can go back here and check this once again. What do I have here? So let's see. I have it though, so I don't know. It didn't show up maybe because the amount, I didn't have any USDCs in there, but now I'm gonna revoke this. Yeah, I'm gonna revoke this approve. Now it's revoked. So once again, what I would do, if I was you, just go through these, and if you have a big amount, then make sure you revoke all these because you can get exploited. The way I do it usually, this is one of my favorite tricks, is that when I want to interact with applications like decentralized applications like Uniswap, SushiSwap, I don't really do it. I don't do it from addresses with big money in it, right? So what I do basically is, let's say I have ledger addresses, and you can have several addresses in the account, right? So what I would do is like one account that I just use as a vault kind of situation, and I only send and receive money there. So basically you can always send money between your accounts, right? Just you click on it and then you could send it, and then you could say transfer between my accounts, and you cannot fuck it up. That's the point. So basically what I would do is, if you have huge money in it, which is like, what's huge money or a ton of money, what is it for you? I don't know. Must be different than for me, whatever, if you're afraid to lose the money. So basically I use, let's say, one account as a vault. And if I want to sell something, like let's say I want to sell 20K of USDC or whatever, then first I would send it to account 2, which has basically zero money in it, just for money for gas. And then I would connect that account to Uniswap or SushiSwap. So when it comes to my accounts where I have a ton of money, I never connect it to a decentralized application like Uniswap or SushiSwap, so I don't get exposed to smart contract risk. And again, the other tricks I always do is like, I always split up my money between many addresses. That's the easiest way to do, right? Same with the seed phrases. Like I have many seed phrases for that reason, because if I fuck it up, I don't fuck up. But if I did, I would be fine. I wouldn't lose all my money at once. So this is another way to protect yourself, and you should take this one seriously as well. So, all right, this is it for today.